Tower of Zot is very similar to Hominster in the sense that it can be a little messy if you do large pulls. So, again, advisory on small pulls, especially if you are a healer who is still getting the hang of things. But we're just going to jump right into it and then see how things go. Again, the durability of one or more of my pieces is low. We're just going to ignore that. I highly recommend to not ignore that. I'm just ignoring it because I know it's a single ring that's the issue. So I'm not gonna worry about messing with repairing or anything. So I just did a bad, and I forgot to party a Thancred. I also threw a shield on him too, preemptively. Gonna do it one pack at a time, as always. I'm gonna swap over to another person. It's very loud. Because there's a lot of people here, it can be very loud. So I'm just gonna angle the camera over here so there's less noise pollution. Because this one does actually have some extra people in here. We have Oriange, Y'shtola, Graha, and Kryl. Oriange is really nice because he throws cards at you. Even as a healer, he will throw cards at you to increase your damage. We have a lot of people right now helping in this this part of the dungeon. And it will be loud because of all the effects going on. But they're not there for the entirety of the dungeon either. I think it's literally just this starting point. Just before the first boss. Away from there. Not a good spot to fight this guy because of that, but you can get out of it pretty easily. Okay, ideally this should be where they part ways. Yep. This is where our ways do part, so we're just going to... They're going that way. Okay. We're just going to continue on here. I also have access to my AoE damage over time here, so I can hit this instead of just spamming it on everybody. It really is only 82? I thought it was higher than that. Unless if it's another... There might have been another healer that has one that's a higher. Zod is nuts with big pulls, even as normal people. It is. It really is. That's why I'm only going to do just single pulls. Only could run trust with a friend. Yeah, like it will definitely increase the speed of these, but most of the reasons why you would want to run trusts is either you don't have access to people who can run a tank or a healer, and you want to level a DPS fairly quickly without having to worry about wait times for the queue. Or you want to level everybody in the trust itself, just so that I get their last outfit, or if you want the title that I currently have right now, Gold Heart, you need to have every one of your members of trust at level cap right now, at level 100. But yeah, being able to run dungeons as maybe just 2 people and then the trust fill in the other 2 slots would be really nice too. It would make these so much faster, especially if both of you are DPS. But I feel like by doing that, they're kind of getting they'll be putting it to a spot where, oh god, that's not a good spot, but that's fine, killed it anyways. It will be one of those things where people will stop running the content with in roulettes, especially if you can run with trusts with 2 people, because they will be way faster. You will be in way more control, and if it's you and a friend and you both are good at the game somewhat, you're not going to want to risk running with people who may not know how to play the game. Anyways, these mechanics. I should be going through these. So ice is that one that was like split into a lot of tiny, thin pizza cuts. Fire is the one that you have to stand inside Mindaruva. Thunder is the one that just gradually moves along. And bio is basically whatever angle it's facing. I did not pay attention to that orb was. What I like to... Never mind. What I like to do is try and stand as close to it as possible, because I don't pay attention to that. There is enough time... Alice, I got hit by a mechanic. There is enough time for you to kind of adjust where you're standing in order to resolve those mechanics. Poison. Poison's not fun. And then this is just an AoE, but it's 1 person at a time. Interesting. Alright, so this will be fire. So fire, we'd want to be next to it, but we also want to make sure that bio doesn't happen like that. So we want to run to that one right away. Fire. And then this one is just ice, so it's fine. Just adjust yourself a little bit. It does require you to have a fairly quick reaction time, or a very good memory and a very good ability to see everything that's going on at the same time, because as you can see, that is not me. I already have enough stuff to look at. I cannot keep track of what cast is going to be placed on the orbs. So Thunder, that's going to be moved over to there. So Thunder is easy to deal with. We don't need to be near there. Fire is the one we have to worry about. We have to be close to fire. So let's go over to fire first. Thunder is going to be moving over there. Just not in a spot that's safe from the Thunder mechanic.
Away with you.
And this is just the odd AoE mechanic. It's just 1 person at a time. So this one is basically... See where the orbs go. If you don't remember what the orbs are going to do, don't worry. Wait until the boss does their own mechanic after both of the orbs are out. Because if it's bio, then just kind of stick close to where the guy is. If it's not bio, you can try and head closer to where the 2 orbs are, and then you will see what mechanic it is, and then just resolve it as needed. So if it's a fire mechanic, you have to stay on the inside. If it's an ice mechanic, just find a good spot between the teeny tiny thinly sliced pizzas. The thunder, you just have to make sure that you stay away from the path of the thunder. It will be like a plus or a cross motion, and it will just keep on going in a straight line in the direction, so just stay in a safe spot. And you should be good. Oh, that's right, Canada Day's tomorrow. Faith will be home from work on Canada Day. I will be streaming tomorrow still, though. I might not be streaming for as long, but we will see.
Prepare yourself.
And we just gotta deal with these guys as need be. So this is where things start to hit hard. These pulls here. Especially if you go to the entire wall-to-wall pull. This one you can only go this far. Because they are hard-hitting. Yep. I'm just, like I said, I'm gonna do just small pulls. Because large pulls are a little scary in here. They're doable, and I do enjoy them myself as a crazy healer, but they can be scary. I am the type of player who, new content, I want to do as big pulls as possible. I encourage people to just pull however many they can possibly do, and then I will figure it out from there. I do not learn mechanics before I jump into this stuff. I used to. I used to be one of those people who would go into, like, new dungeons or trials or anything like that in this game, where I would look up how to do the dungeon first and what mechanics to look out for, because I was so incredibly anxious all the time about screwing up or doing the wrong thing. And this was back when I was playing a DPS. I played Bard for the longest time and Red Mage. I didn't touch healer. But nowadays I just go into things completely blind and I enjoy the heck out of it, and I just, if it's new content, and, you know, it's somebody who's tanking that isn't Faith, or isn't somebody that I know, I will say, I will type to them in chat, if you're comfortable, do a big pull. Like, I enjoy the heck out of doing stuff like that now, because I'm a crazy person. Because I used to be the crazy anxious person who will look up mechanics before even jumping into something, even if it's new content, because I was so scared of messing up. But there's really no need to. Now it's just, oh, I screwed up, but I learned the mechanic. And if I didn't learn the mechanic, that just means more fun. More times for me to run it until I get the mechanic down. Because sometimes it does. There are a few, there have been a few times where I just can't understand a mechanic. I can't grasp it quickly for whatever reason. So it will take me maybe 5, if not more, tries at running the dungeon before I finally get it, which is fine. But I don't let that stop me from learning or attempting it. So these pulls in particular, after that first boss, can be very deadly. So keep an eye on Thancred's health here. It's also partially the reason why I want to do these guides as well. I want to make sure that everybody who is new to the game understands that it's okay to not be confident in playing certain classes or doing certain content with other people. That is a-okay. Trusts are there for that. And you can clear all this content. Anybody can clear any of the content that the trusts are a part of. Like, honestly, anybody can clear any of the content in the game. It just some of it just requires a lot of patience, a lot of learning, but it's doable. Things just seem scary. And that's okay. You don't even have to touch any of the endgame content if you don't want to. But with stuff like this, and you want to get through the dungeons and everything, but you're a little too afraid to do it with other people, just run it with trusts. And you can just follow my guides and hopefully they help. Also, that's Alizé throwing a limit breakout right away. Okay, so this one. This one has a fun little mechanic where it will split off into multiple of itself on the outside. And I will show you how to resolve that after this one. This mechanic here is basically, it's an avoidable mechanic right now, but really it's just an AoE. It's just a large, unavoidable AoE. So you see this mechanic here? You just gotta go to the safe spot. All the way in the corner here. Keep away from those orbs as far as possible, and you're good. And keep away from the AoE here. Make sure that you don't get hit by that AoE because I think it does stop. It applies stop on you or stun. So this is just the AoE. That's unavoidable to whoever's being targeted. I would highly advise you to not stand in more than the one that you're expected to stand in. Otherwise, you're just gonna get hit needlessly. But it is really just an AoE that's unavoidable. This one here. Okay. One of these guys are just gonna be standing there, not doing any emote. That's the one you gotta stand towards. So it is literally this one right here. This is the one that's only staying put. The only one that's not doing an emote. So this is the safe spot. And that's it. Resolved. And just keep away from that AoE on the ground. Then it should jump into the middle again. Ooh. There it is. And then it's another AoE that's a little bit avoidable. You just can't avoid the line that gets placed on you. Just sure you're not standing near anybody. Take your hit. And then I like to wait until everybody is hit, and then I throw out a heal. Because then everybody can benefit from the heal. And then there's another Manusea Confuse. So we gotta look for the one that's not doing an emote. It's actually this one. Right here. And keep away from it, from the AoE. And we're good. Easy peasy. There we go. What will you guys be up to in Canada today? I think we're just going to have a nice chill day inside. I'm not sure if we've got anything planned. It just sits on a weird day. The fact that it's a Tuesday. It is a weird day for it to sit on, but... I don't think we've got any plans. Unless if there's something happening around the city, then maybe we will go and check it out, but... Normally it's just a cozy day to stay in. I'm just going to ignore my health here, because I know I'm not going to get hit again. This is also a super spicy pull. Like, honestly, all the pulls in this can be pretty spicy if you do the full length of it. So there's nothing wrong in doing small pulls. Things are still dying. You're still making progress. That's all that matters. I'm gonna hit him first, and then he's gonna do a big dash. I'm gonna grab his coffer whilst he does that dash. Thankred just went ahead and pulled those guys of his own volition, so that's on him. I guess I'm gonna have to heal him a little, because he's deciding to be a psychopath. Gonna throw out a Holos. Don't be afraid to throw out AoE heals. Well, don't be afraid to pull out any of the AoE heals that have like regen or damage reduction or stuff like that when you're only really using it to benefit the tank. If it's an AoE heal that just only does AoE, like, that only does healing, that's a waste. But if it's something that does give damage reduction, or regen, or anything like that, don't be afraid to use it. Because there is Haima and Panhaima. So Haima is the single target of this thing, but it is a long cooldown. If you still want to use the benefit of the Haima, even whilst it's on cooldown, I'll wait for it to drop off with Tancred so you can see. There you go. Use Panhaima. It's a slightly smaller shield, but it does the exact same thing as Haima. So just use that if you don't have access to Haima because it's on cooldown. Basically, make it as easy as possible for you to heal without using a global cooldown. And by global cooldown, I mean anything that you have to have a cast for, or even if you do Eucrasian Diagnosis, that's also technically, because it's a two-step thing. So if you can avoid doing that, then, you know, just hit the button. Also, this is kind of spicy. Tancred is getting owied here. Again, focus on Tancred. His health will drop quite a bit here. I'm going to pop this here, just so I get an extra piece of gauge. I will say it's kind of hard for me to explain what buttons I'm using when on Sage, because I go by the symbol and the placement that I have on the hotbar. I cannot remember the names of any of my skills. Because if somebody were to give me a rundown of how to play Sage and all they did was say the skill names, I would not be able to follow at all. But that goes with any class as well, it's not just Sage. If you tell me the name of the skills to use, I wouldn't know which one it is or what it does. But if you were to give me its symbol, I'd be like, oh yeah, that one. Playing games and staying cool, yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan for us. Trying to stay as cool as possible in this heat. Make sure that Tancred is healed up. Oracle out on him for some damage reduction. Means that he's gonna take less damage, so I am not gonna have to heal him as often. Okay, this boss here. Alright. Okay. This boss is chaos upon chaos. It's 3 bosses in one. So the 2 bosses that you had to fight to lead up to here are also going to be a part of this. And their mechanics are somewhat going to exist in this fight. There's a lot of chaos. Try your best to not stand in any of the AoEs. That's all I can tell you. That's my strategy for this. Just try your best to not stand in any AoEs. If that requires you to run around like a crazy person and not casting anything, that's fine. Because there are times when it's just, you gotta run for your life. And do not be afraid to shield yourself. You have this shield right here. Eucrasian Diagnosis that you can throw on yourself. You can also Haima yourself. You can also Panhaima, because that stacks on top of Haima if you really want to panic. But I would advise you not to. I would advise you to do one then the other. You also have Holos, which is an extra shield. You also have this, that's damage reduction. You also have Tarakol, that's also a damage reduction you can do. There are many things that you can do to protect yourself from dying in this. Use them. Utilize everything that you have to keep yourself alive. Because the trust, in theory, should somewhat know what to do. Kind of. Some of them will get hit. Hopefully they don't die. Because this boss is just chaotic. Just chaotic through and through. So I am going to toss a shield on Thancred, toss a shield on everybody, and then we are going to go right into it. And this is an AoE. That's basically a size the white mages have. Also, apparently, Faith is home early today, and he did not tell me at all. I just heard him come home. Alright, here is just basically run for your life and try and stay alive. This is all this is. AoEs upon AoEs. Just do your best. There's a stack over there. Do your best to get to it, but don't worry about it if you can't.
Let's give them a show.
I did not get there in time. And then there is a tank buster there. Hopefully heal everybody as much as you can. And then this is going to be another AoE damage here. Like I said, it's shenanigans upon shenanigans. Just do what you can. Ideally focus on one enemy at a time. I'm just going to shield everybody here because there's a little moment of reprieve. And then more shenanigans is going to happen. So keep away from that as far as possible. Try and avoid the ice. Try and avoid the AoEs. Do what you can. And then go to the other side. And you're safe. The best thing to do with this fight is do not panic, do not freak out about so many things showing up. Just worry about what's at your feet. If you don't have a mechanic at your feet, then you don't have to worry about anything. You can just stay put. If there's a mechanic at your feet, move until there's no longer a mechanic at your feet. It's probably the best way to explain it. So that you don't find yourself overwhelmed. Okay, this one is going to have a spread, so make sure you're not near anybody when you're going through this. Right here, and then... Oh, I'm actually going to get hit with that, so I'm going to shield myself. But we're good. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to target. This is the one I wanted to target. Ideally, you do want to get rid of this one in particular first, because they do heal the other two. They're basically the white mage out of all three of these. Alizé is going to die. No, she is not. I'm going to shield everybody again. Throw Physis out. Best to get rid of this. And now I just gotta avoid all the damage at my feet. And again, if there's no AoE on the ground that you're standing on, don't worry about it. And then if you can, try and stack with everybody. If it's dangerous to get there, don't worry. The trust will stack with each other, and that will be enough for everybody to survive. I think we're all targeting this guy next. This is where it gets a little finicky because sometimes some target one and then some target the other. Just basically go for whichever one is getting hit by the most people in the trust. Because then they'll just die faster. And we've got this guy. Easy peasy. Nobody died. Alizé almost died because she decided to stand in everything under the sun. But we're good.